really love Japan. So technically, I prefer Japan than Korea, but Korea is a good second, actually.
Yeah, I'm look at your channel and your Instagram. So I've seen you worked on on quite a lot of different projects, and
Yeah.
so you're renovating a bus, right?
That's right. Sure, sure. So the bus renovation is a project that I started 2 years ago now, a bit more than 2 years ago. Uh, I this project because my initial project didn't work out basically. So before the pandemic started, I was supposed to go live in Japan. So I had this idea of opening an office for my previous business in Japan and try to grow the business from in the Japanese market. And this project was the smart heating jacket that I created. So I found a lot of interest from the Japanese markets through the Kickstarter campaign that I created in 2017. And since then, I was receiving maybe an email a month from distributors or e-commerce websites, Japanese distributors or Japanese e-commerce websites. So that's how it got me thinking about it could be a good idea professionally to go to Japan. And Japan is also of a personal interest of me since I'm very young, through anime, and then it went to the food, the culture, the landscape. So in 2020, I was supposed to go to Japan. Then I bought my ticket by the end of January or beginning of February of 2020, and it was the start of this pandemic. And I didn't think much about it. I thought it was like a couple of months or a couple of weeks, and then it wouldn't be that big. So I still bought my ticket around to fly to Japan, to Tokyo, around June 15. And also the other reason is because I'm a fan of the Olympics, and so since the Olympics was supposed to take to place in Tokyo in 2020, it was like best of worlds for me. So I'm going to Japan for the first time ever in my life, and being able to attend Olympics. And
Awesome.
Unfortunately, by May 31st, Japan decided to close its borders officially. So 2 weeks before my flight, and so I got a little bit bummed about it, and I was already taking care of. I was already getting rid of my apartment in Montreal. That's where I was. That's where I used to live in the past. And through that, I didn't get any apartment. Well, I was basically homeless, and my family is living in Ottawa. So I asked my parents, so can I live with you for a couple of months, because I didn't believe that this pandemic would last that long. And so they say, yeah, yeah, please come by. And so before that and during the pandemic, I piled up like a quite good amount of money. So I got this money that I piled up, that I put on a project, and another project I bought crypto with that. So I started to buy Bitcoin with that money, just to, Bitcoin was getting more and more. It was getting increased in terms of value. So I decided to put this money up, and then by March 2021, I saw that this pandemic would last way longer than I expected, and so I got a little bit bored. I wanted to find a way to live, because I think for me it's the most boring city in the world. I still don't like this city whatsoever, but I'm still stuck in there. And so that's since I had a lot of interest in getting an RV in the past, and rent an RV to do some stuff, and discover a little bit more about Canada. I stumbled upon school projects on YouTube. So I started to, during the pandemic, to watch a lot of those videos and started to dream about it a little bit more every day. And so around March 2021, this when I decided to pull the plug on the Japan project. So I decided to put it aside, and then I decided to go full on buying a bus and start renovating it. So I ordered the bus in April 2021, and I got it delivered when I went to pick it up. Sorry, around in the first week of August 2021. And since then, I'm working on that, mostly on the weekends, sometimes during the days, depending on what I have to do with my business. So since my schedule is quite flexible, I decided to work on that. Although what I did was kind of a big project, I got many issues with the bus, structural issues. When I bought the bus, even though I did an inspection of it, um, the school owner did a very good job to hide a lot of the rust that I discovered only after I decided to remove the seats and decided to remove the interior walls to start the renovation. And so I had to tear it up. I had to tear the back of the bus completely. So I had to remove, because it was so rusted, I couldn't do any repair. So I had to tear it up completely. I had to learn how to weld, do some welding, recreate a structure of the bus, and then apply some metal sheet, and basically like do the whole body, the whole back of the bus, the whole body of the bus.
Mm. Is this your first experience with like mechanics or?
Somehow, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So I own a car, but I didn't have to do like anything related to that kind of job. So it was mainly maintenance that I used to do on my car, but not that kind of maintenance. And
Mm.
that's the first time for me owning a bus. So, and there are still some stuff that I need to do right now, well, after winter. But basically I learn on the go. So I was watching tons of YouTube videos about bus renovations, and so I was lucky enough to find people that had the same issues as mine. So I learned a lot, like a lot, about the past 2 years. And so now the situation I have with the bus is, well, good thing is I have put the bus in the driveway at my parents' house. So I don't have anything to pay about it. I don't have
Mm.
any cost whatsoever for the bus. It's
Yeah.
just seated on the driveway at my parents' house, and then I just wake up, and whenever I want, I go inside the bus and I start to work on that.
Mm.
So I did the I did the hardest and toughest job on the bus. So everything is done right now. Now it's just more of the building and renovation process. So now to recreate the interior that I prepared. Um, I'm working on iPad Pro, and they have a very good 3D software that I'm using right now. And so I recreated the whole interior in 3D with the measurements through the
Yeah.
measurements of the bus. So now I'm able to visualize exactly what I want. So I'm kind of innovating at the same time inside the bus, because I saw some patterns, repetitive patterns, through the school bus community, through YouTube and Facebook pages and Instagram groups. And so I didn't want to do that. So I'm kind of applying minimalist approach on bus, and also I'm trying to maximize the space. Uh, so everything, not everything, but most of the parts in my bus are modular.
Mm.
So the bed is modular, so that means that during the day I don't have any beds, but then when it's time to sleep, I can unfold the bed, I can expand the frame, and then I have like a king bed. But
Mm.
whenever it's time to use the space for something else, like let's say for a workout, because I like to work out, I studied in sports science in the past,
Mm.
so I can have my own workout space inside the bus, inside the bedroom, without having the bed
Mm.
like taking a space that I really need to use. And so I'm trying to maximize my way of living inside the bus. So that's the kind of thing that I did. So that's mainly that's my biggest project that I'm working on right now.
Mm.
And through that, and
Okay.
so I need to finish that. I need to finish the bus. So there's a good 6 months to for me to work on that, to make sure that I can finish it properly, because I still need to work on the roof. I need a deck. I need to install the solar panels. and underneath the bus I need to recreate a structure to on one to have the water, all of the water system, the plumbing system, and then on the other side all of the electrical system with the batteries and everything. So this way it's not inside the bus, but out, everything is outside the bus.
So like your showering system that's like outside kind of thing?
I have a shower inside and I have a huge shower panel actually, so it's like the size of a bathtub. So I'm gonna, yeah, I wanted to have like a lot of comfort, but I wanted to. The thing is, because I was able to maximize my living space, I was able also to maximize the bathroom area, because again, from what I've seen from the YouTube community with the Discuss Renovation, most of the shower are kind of very tight, and then
Yeah.
you're if you're taking a shower alone, so it's very small, it's too cramped, and I didn't like that. So I wanted to have like a shower and all sorts of things that are making my my life easier, because I intend to go full time. And then I'm gonna keep continuing my YouTube channel about it, because I'm gonna add another aspect of it, is that my dream is to ship this this school bus to Japan.
Okay.
So I ship it to Japan, and then once I'm in Japan, I want to travel throughout all Japan, because I want to find an abandoned house that I can buy and renovate as well. So I'm trying. So I will that will help me grow my YouTube channel as well. So it's not only about the renovation stuff; it's about like traveling and living out of my bus. So that's so I have like a plan, a continuity plan for the next 3 years. Like, so for now, this year 2024 that we're coming into will be about the renovation, the end of the renovation, and then the process of trying to ship the bus to Japan. And then in 2025, when I will send officially the bus to Japan, will be maybe a whole year of searching throughout Japan what would be the ideal abandoned house that I want to buy. And then the renovation process maybe throughout 2026, for example. So I have like a 3 plan for my YouTube channel. So hopefully that I can grow a lot through that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so it's a very project. And just how big is this bus? Like, how many used to be? How many people could you seat in it when it used to be a
I
bus?
think it's in terms of adult size, it's 48 adults.
Wow. Okay, so it's really big.
Yeah, it's an 11 meters long bus.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, adults or 72 children. So basically, to give you an example, so the back of the bus, there is one garage section that is the size of the width of one window. Basically, each window, there's 12 or 13 windows that I have on my bus, and they are both 24-inch wide.
Right.
So that's
Okay.
how I was able also to calculate the space inside the
Yeah.
bus and how I wanted to structure the bus. So starting from the back, there's one window width that will be used as the garage space, and then right after that, there is three or four windows that will be used for the room and for the bedroom, basically. And then moving forward, there will be the bathroom area, and then from that, after the bathroom area, there will be the kitchen area, and from the kitchen area, and then after, it's going to be the lounge area. So the lounge area will be at the front of the bus, and there will be 2 couches in front of one in front of the other. That could be also transformed into another bed, so I can have like guests coming with me. I can have more people coming with me, and with that I also intend to transform this area into area. So I will have like a modular table that I can add, so I can work on that. And so yeah, so I'm trying to make it a living area as well as a workspace area.
Right. Let's say a percentage. I mean, I'm a bit of a guess, but how far are you in the build? Are you like 50% in or
Yeah,
60%
50,
completion?
more 50%. But although It's 50%. Yeah, I think 50% because I still have a lot of stuff to do, but
Mm.
it's going to be quite fast. So I know I can, even if I'm able to ship in Japan, which is not 100% sure right now, if it's possible and it lands in Japan, I will still have like a lots of paperwork to make to have it officially in Japan. So that's gonna be I think the main of this project.
And so yeah, you mentioned your previous project, which was a smart heating
Hmm.
jacket, and pandemic kind of prevented you to really push that idea forward. Was there any other issues, or was that the main issue? And why is it you think Japanese were like so interested in particular? Did you identify some reason for that?
Yeah, well, so this every time I received an email from a Japanese distributor, so it was hard to verify the validity of the website or of the distributor because let's face it, Japanese websites are not that well made, and so there's not much information on it. But time I received an email, I received it through the Kickstarter campaign that I did for this smart heating jacket. I think at the time I was contacted by Japanese distributors or e-commerce website. They all that this kind of high-tech product is a fit for the Japanese market. So
Mm,
that's the main reason that I received from those. Some of them I kept in touch with. Some of them not at all. I could see that they were making an effort to speak in English, but every time I answered in English, the communication just stalled a little bit. English is quite an issue in Japan, so they're not that good. So, and even though I'm trying to learn Japanese, I'm not that good to answer email properly in Japanese in a proficient and good Japanese way. But the main reason was because this kind of high tech product would fit the Japanese market
mm,
definitely.
okay.
And most of these distributors or e-commerce website, what they were doing is just introducing foreign product into the Japanese market. So that's mainly what they were doing, basically.
Jacket, did you design it, and was it made in like the prototypes you made? Did you make them yourself, or did you work with a manufacturer?
So it was almost made by myself. So I designed the jacket at the time. I had an electronics consultant that helped me making something quite demonstrable that I could use in different shows, events, or pitch competitions. I could show that how it works. But I worked in when I was living in Montreal. I also worked with it's not manufacturer. They are designers, but they are outdoor product designers, and so they just helped me making this a reality. So I showed them the design. I provided the designs, and they just make two jackets for me, one for women and one for men, and that's pretty much it basically. So I was able to present it. But the main issue that I got it through the Kickstarter. So I raised a successful Kickstarter campaign. What I know at the time is that the money that you see on the Kickstarter campaign is not at all the money that you receive in your pockets.
Mm,
So I raised in Canadian dollars around $65,000, but I just got
right.
35K out of
Wow.
that for two reasons. One, they wait at the end of the campaign to take them from the credit cards. And so I had about 20 clients that their credit card didn't come through. And since the product was about, they were spending between $300 to $400. So
Mm,
I lost quite amount of money, a lot
mm.
of money through that.
There's no
Plus,
mechanism on Kickstarter to contact them. No.
no, I was able to get in touch with them, but some of them didn't really reply. And also the second aspect is that Kickstarter and just took their cut as well. So at the end of the day, through those loss, I just $35,000, and then the electronics company that I was working with at the moment, I spent $21,000 or $22,000 for their help, and what they gave to me for that amount of money is just PDFs about how the project will be conducted, and so the project didn't come through because of that as well. Not necessarily because of the pandemic, but mostly because of money issues.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot because as of today, this project is successful but never delivered, and people are still waiting somehow to get it done.
Yeah.
Even though the company that I'm working with right now, it's an electronics company that took over the project, but then we decided to go into another direction, and so the company just worked on the smart heating technology. So we took it over, made it from scratch again, made a good product out of it. But now we're more focusing on targeting women with cramps, because we know that heat is super effective with cramps. And
Mm.
so we have now worked on a project to help relieve from their cramps through
Mm.
that technology. So the jacket maybe will come later, but somehow I don't know. But
What was the vision to make this product manufactured in Canada? Was that part of the idea?
no, 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 never, no. In terms of I knew that in terms of electronics and in terms of clothing for the smart heating jacket, all of
Yeah.
the resources are in Asia basically.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to make it in Canada, for example, but when I to approach manufacturers in Canada, it was so expensive that this kind of jacket would have cost $2,000, so I could make a little bit
Wow.
of money about it.
Wow.
So yeah, no, it's too expensive.
Interesting. Funnily enough, like a few years ago, I did buy, well, yeah, like a year ago, I did buy a smart jacket off AliExpress.
Okay.
Because I think the concept is really good, but then the jacket I received, the execution was it wasn't very, yeah, the execution was pretty poor. You know, it was come out of the pocket, but the just looked really dodgy.
Yeah.
And put my power bank in so this USB
Mhm.
lead, but then it would sit in your pocket, and then it would kind of your jacket would be all wrong, and then it
Yeah.
wouldn't be that comfortable. And then I think I used it with a power bank like 10 times, and then I just wore it as a normal jacket, and then a few months later it was very cold, so I tried to plug the power bank back in, and it just wasn't working anymore because the build quality was
Yeah,
so
that I'm not surprised. So I think I know the kind of technology that you have. So basically it's one button, and through that button you choose from the high level, medium or low level of
probably,
heat.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
so
Yeah.
so it comes from the exact same place in China. So
Mm.
so it's not surprising, and I bought the same system just to test it out, and it worked once.
Yeah.
And then since then, every time I try to plug it back to a power bank, I'm not able to feel the difference of heat between the levels. It has four levels, and
Mm.
it's complete garbage basically. So
Yeah.
that's also why I wanted to create this smart heating jacket, because I wanted to have the real reason there's a smart in the name of the jacket. It's because it's controlled through a smartphone where you can choose the
Mm.
specific temperature, and every heat pad has its own thermosensor, which means that you can regulate the temperature. That the system will auto regulate according to the temperature that you choose, either in general or through every specific location within the jacket. So if you want to have no heat at all through the body, but have the maximum heat to your arms, for example, that's something that is possible. So that's why it's smart in some way.
Mm.
But it's electronics product, so it has a lot of obstacles as well. Also, certifications, something that is extremely expensive, and so in terms of finances and funds, it's making up is it's very, very difficult. If you don't have the funds enough, it's almost impossible. So
Mm.
yeah.
So, I mean, you did in making a very successful Kickstarter, right? Even though you
Yeah.
had some issue with final funds, but I mean, what was your process to make that Kickstarter, and what advice would you give someone who's trying to make their own Kickstarter?
Basically, what I did is just I did a lot. I spent a lot of time researching successful campaigns, their process of marketing. I was also trying to get in touch with the marketing agencies that were taking on those projects. Try to help not only to see they could, well, to see they could help me, but also to see how much would it cost effectively to make a successful Kickstarter campaign. And it's extremely expensive. And the only budget that I had at the time was $1,500. So whenever I contacted a marketing agency specialized in Kickstarter campaign, they were asking me for a minimum of $20,000. So
Wow.
obviously I couldn't do it this way. I had to do it on my own. So I had to research on YouTube how to make proper Facebook ads, making A/B tests, how to raise through Kickstarter, through Instagram, Twitter. What are the tools that you can find online to help me through that? So that's what I did for a good 3 months, and then 3 months, and so yeah, through the summer, because I launched this campaign in October 2017, and I started in May, basically this process.
Right.
So
Wow.
through May, June, July, I did a lot of research. And then through the whole months of August, I created those Facebook ads, and I was testing those Facebook ads with the minimum of money. I was putting $5 a day through those ads through A/B testing to see which one. I was creating 10 to 20 ads, putting $5 a day, and through the results, every 2 days, I was cutting one or two ads that didn't perform well according to my assumptions.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, this way, when it was September, when it was time to fully launch this marketing campaign in September, I had only one well performing ad that I put $5 or $6 in it.
Per month kind of thing, or?
Just for the first month of September. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Wow. Okay.
So I put this amount of money into it was my launch marketing campaign, basically,
Okay.
through September. In October, I put another hundreds, and then during the campaign, when the campaign was on, I just put the rest of the money
Yeah.
just to help go through the campaign. So in total, I put only $1,500
Okay.
in
Cool.
terms of.
Cheaper than the agency.
Yeah, way cheaper. But also, I didn't raise enough. The problem also was that Canadian banks here are extremely fearful of anything.
Mm.
So they're not giving out any money that easily. And so even after the campaign, I showed them, okay, I raised $65,000, would need exactly the same amount of money or maybe a little bit more. And they said, well, you didn't raise $100,000, so it's not enough for us. So sorry, but we can help you.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
I was so that was the struggle. But in terms of preparation for a Kickstarter campaign, yeah, it takes about 6 months to do it well, basically. And yeah, so that's that I would recommend if you are intending on making a Kickstarter campaign, Indiegogo, whatsoever, any kind of funding campaign, take
Yeah.
at least a good 6 months to prepare for that. Make a lot of research. I was not sleeping a lot during those times, basically. So I was spending a lot of my time on YouTube, creating ads, testing them, uh, and on and so forth.
And then, so the way your campaign kind of worked, so the phase was kind of research where you small budget to test which ad
Mhm.
was the most effective, and then when you were like, when the period right, you cranked up the budget on the ad that worked, right?
Yeah.
And then, so ads would take you straight to the Kickstarter site, or would it take them to your website and then to the Kickstarter? Where would the ads lead people?
So at first, when it was pre-launch, it was through the website,
Right.
through a somehow. I think it was a form
Okay.
So it was a form that was already filled out, depending on when they were coming from. So if it was from Facebook directly, I was able at the time to use. There was an automatic fill up from Facebook to my website. So this way, when they clicked on the link, the form was already filled out. They just clicked on send, and so that was one potential customer basically. So that's what I did at first. I was raising potential customers through a mailing list. And then when it was time to launch the campaign, then the link was changed to redirecting directly Kickstarter campaign, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so yeah, let me conclude kind of like I'm kind of curious about what kind of tools people are using, especially like productivity tools, or is there any like system that kind of organizes your life, your personal and business life? Is there any recommendation you have?
Well, I'll give you a very good advice for that because I'm a very messy person.
Okay.
My thoughts are random, and so I don't. I tried. I downloaded a ton of apps, like Notion for even the apps from Apple, like the Note apps.
Yeah.
Was the other one? So I have Notes. I have the To Do app. I have the Reminder app from from
Mm,
from Apple.
yeah.
So I'm trying to use them, but most of the time everything is in my head, and so it's quite messy. So you may know this old picture of Einstein from his desk. So there were tons of papers everywhere in his desk, and it was like a huge mess. It was his organized mess, and I tend to work the same basically. And so, but I know that like trying to use Notion to like coordinate a little bit about my process, my thought process. I started to use Notion for the YouTube channel basically.
I see.
So
Okay.
that's something that I did, and now I'm using ChatGPT as well
Mm,
to coordinate all of my thoughts because I'm not gonna lie, I use a lot of ChatGPT. So I used ChatGPT recently to create my process of thought for the next 3 years for the YouTube channel.
oh, wow. Okay.
So I asked to research all of the potential virality through either the bus renovation videos, the Japan videos, the home renovation in Japan. And so that's how it helped me create this process of, okay, so this year all about the end of the renovation and
Mm,
the process the to ship the bus in Japan, and how in 2025 it's the process of shipping the bus and traveling throughout Japan and trying to find houses to renovate. So I'm starting to use a lot of ChatGPT to help me through that, and then through that I just copy paste to Notion and arrange my thought a little bit better to Notion. So
that's awesome. I mean, it sounds like it's your kind of future, like a story of future life almost.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yes, that's
Yeah.
I see it as like that as well. So
Mm,
I well actually I'm turning 40 in a week, so so it's like a change of plan. So I'm restructuring my life right now
yeah.
to make it exactly what I want, because my dream is to live in Japan. So now I need to move forward, and I need to find ways to go to Japan as soon as possible and do the thing that I want really want to do.